Disclaimer: the information and education material contained herein is meant to promote the general understanding and dialogue of GAN's processing. Such information is not meant or intended to serve as a substitute for a healthcare professional's clinical training, experience, or judgment. For patients and individuals, such information is not to be a substitute for professional medical, therapeutic, or healthcare advice or counseling. For medical issues or concerns, including decisions about medications and other treatments, readers, viewers, listeners should always consult their physician or, in serious cases, seek immediate assistance from emergency personnel. Prescription information, procedures, and use of medical devices information should be undertaken only by properly trained and certified medical personnel. We specifically disclaim any warranties, express or implied, including implied warranties of merchantability or fitness for a particular purpose. Such information is provided, as is, and is believed to be accurate at the time of its publishing, but it is the viewer's job to evaluate the accuracy of any information found in this presentation. Every case presented is of their own experience, applied by themselves for themselves, and it applies to their case only. Every person experiencing health problems should seek professional medical advice and consult their course of treatment with a doctor. The processes of plasma balancing described herein are a natural process which supports the body but does not replace medical advice or therapies one is already subject to.
There is a huge burden on you who became satellites. Try to understand that with what happened in Linz this week and with the first test, we have set a precedence for the whole change of the structure. Your child cries, he doesn't talk. You reach his soul, you understand where the pain is. You have a mentally handicapped child. You want to know how you can bring the change. You reach the soul. Does the physicality matter? Those of you who are beautiful people will come to understand, to see all the members of the family within the one physical structure. We shall see from what we saw this week, end of what I call, or the beginning to an end of the knowledge of what we build and nourish as prisons. We see an end to addiction. We see an end to criminality, and we see an end to kingship. We see the beginning of how we transmute people's soul, elevate them, nourish them, and like a dream you had, return back to them. What we saw this week in Linz, without a doubt, will bring massive changes to many of us. And as a head of the Keshe Foundation and responsible for setting up the One Race Planet, as I have agreed before I arrive here, will endeavor to bring that as fast as possible to be applicable. That it brings a positive change. The world is going through a position of mayhem, not knowing uncertainty, and this uncertainty is creating more problems in the coming months and years, and we are here to use it to change the course for peace. We are not standing for elections, we are not standing to interfere with powers. We elevate the soul of the man in a very massive way. Now there are physical systems and it can be shown, and it will be developed for all levels of understanding. This process of transmutation of the soul and transmutation of soul of physicality, which is confirmed this week, will bring us many, many changes. Will bring us amazing amount of changes. I hope, as human race, as knowledge seekers, you understand what you have entered into and what you have brought to be. What is about to come and how much change it will come and bring for all of us.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to the 78th public meeting for testimonials here on Monday, May 8th, 2023. This is a broadcast of the Keshe Foundation Spaceship Institute Education Department and part of the public teachings in English. My name is Rick Crammond, and I'll be host today, along with Mark. And I think we're ready to dive into today's testimonials. We'll have the honor of appearance of Gianni later on today. That'll be probably another hour and a bit. And in the meantime, we have a number of testimonials of the plasma technology from our Brazilian friends. And is there anybody else who would like to present a testimonial in the early beginning part of our show here?
I can give a small one, very small one.
Okay, great, Stefania.
Yeah, it happened not long time ago. I want to give one a testimonial about the guns. So cup number 1 and cup number 2. Few weeks ago, I broke my eardrum, and I perforated my eardrum. And as if anyone knew had this problem before, usually straight after you have a ear infection, where a lot of stuff come out of the ear, and usually it's very painful, and you would have the pain up to the jaw, and all the face will feel very sore, and the ear will feel sore. So happened in the evening, and I was in the middle of nowhere, and I had only cup 1 and cup 2 and a little bit of salt of the cups, and I was quite in pain. So because it happened in the evening just before going to bed. So I really needed something to take away the pain, because also when you lie down, when you change the gravity from standing to lying down and you're in the bed, is also the pain increase. So I thought, okay, I got the cups and I can practice also the soul. You know, when Mr. Keshe encouraged us to start to communicate with a part of our body, they are in trouble. Like, for example, in this case was my ear. Now I have a pain in my ear, so I know there was some problem in my ear. So I did different things. I used the cup 1 and cup 2. So I used the water of the cup, and I put it in a little spray, and I spray all around the area that was sore, hoping that it would reduce the pain, and actually did straight away. So the pain started to decrease. And then I thought, okay, as I was lying down in bed, you know, just before to go to bed, you got these moments with yourself, you know, just going to sleep. So I start to kind of imagine, you know, try to really focus. I focus on the good, on the ear that was not painful, and I was trying to replicate, like a replication cup, the feelings of the good ear. I want to replicate on the ear where I had the pain. And anyway, I fell asleep in the process. But matter of fact, I woke up, I had no pain, and I managed to sleep all night. And so for who had ear infection and perforated drum, you know what I'm talking about. It can be very, very sore for lots and lots of days. So but actually I slept through, and I had no pain. So I was convinced that definitely something worked out. I don't know what was, but whatever it was, for the first time ever, I didn't have the pain. And then the following day I went to the doctor, and they told me I had a big hole in my ear, no? They wanted to give me antibiotic, but I kept using it. I took the antibiotic, actually. I was very, I was, because in the past I didn't take them, and then it was a nightmare. I had this problem for weeks and weeks. But so I didn't trust fully, and I took the antibiotic. But I have to say, then when I stopped the antibiotic, I never had the pain. Never had the pain. And then that already was a big thing for me as improvement. And then for a coincidence, we started the addiction gather meeting. For who doesn't know, in the Keshe Foundation, we start meeting once a month, where we collectively meet up in a Zoom, and we focus on a topic, and we use and we connect with a machine through the headphone of the mobile phone, and we receiving cosmic ray. So the addiction started exactly when my antibiotics finished the course, because they give you a course to do, and it was just a couple of 6 days or whatever, 5 days, I can't remember now. And then with the cosmic ray, again, because you have to be careful to, if you have a perforated eardrum, yeah, the wind can go into the ear. That can be painful. So you have to always have a cotton bud. I put cotton bud when I go out to stop any air going to the ear, no, because we'll be sore. But that day completely forgot to put in the cotton bud, and I really felt like I was perfectly fine without. And I really felt this no need. It's like, okay, I don't need cotton bud anymore. I used to put it every day. Before then I didn't. So I noticed, I thought, oh, maybe this cosmic ray, they also helped me on my eardrum. So it felt like that. It felt really, it was a good timing for me. Yes, so I wanted to share this about the eardrum. Yeah. So so I have to say the truth. To me, the plasma technology, I can really understand the importance when I'm in trouble, unfortunately. When I'm in trouble, I can really, because it's the only things I use. It's the only things I have in my house available on the spot. So for emergency. So if you're at home and something happens suddenly, it's my emergency remedy, and it never fails, I have to say. So I just want to share this. So it's very, very good.
Okay, thank you, Stefania.
You're welcome.
Anybody else have anything that they would like to share at this point?
Yeah, hello. Maybe I can go with my testimonial too, San. Do you hear me?
Yes, we hear you. It's a little bit weak, but it's coming through okay.
Okay, perfect. So I want to make a testimonial about the session we had on the 28th of April.
Okay, if you could just say who you are and where you're from, that might be a good idea too, to let people know.
Yeah, sure. So,
thanks.
Yeah. Hassan Halal, originally born in Senegal, now living in the Gambia. And yes, I want to give you a testimonial about our meeting we had on the 28th of April, connecting with the soul of the Creator, the addiction awareness. And maybe I will read the testimonial which I wrote in the groups, and then I will add what's happening in between. It'll be easier because when I write English, it's more correct than when I just have to talk, if you don't mind.
Yeah, if you could get maybe a little bit closer to the microphone so we can hear more clearly, that'd be great.
Yeah, okay. So we had on Friday 28th session, and good day to everyone. I want to give you a testimonial from the addiction session, and I would like to thank all those who have donated the beautiful gifts from which I received a connecting with the soul of the Creator addiction awareness. So I'm a heavy daily smoker, be it tobacco and cannabis. I came as advised by the team with no expectation but to give to the system. After the session, which lasted 2 hours approximately, I felt no need to smoke again. And even though I lit a cigarette on Friday and one on Saturday, I could not smoke them. It was a heavy feeling on my lung. I may had 2 intakes, and the rest was just puffing because my body was rejecting them. I could not inhale the smoke. I tried to stop smoking in my life before, and it was not possible, being a 24 years non-stop smoker. But what is beautiful with this session is that with no efforts, I can say today that I feel no need to smoke again. And up to the day I'm talking to you now, I feel no cravings. I did not touch a cigarette nor a cannabis joint. Another thing which happened to me is that I don't feel hungry too. Even though I have dinner after the session on Friday, dinner on Saturday, and dinner on Sunday, I just went for food for no reason. I'm still on that way, and I think it's because of the habit. But I can affirm and confirm that I feel no hunger since the session. Another thing which happened to me, and which is the most surprising, is that I feel happy for no reason. A lot of change on my emotion. I'm less irritable. I was addicted to politic information and was following politics talks on social media every day. And I was always irritated by the news and injustice of what is going on around the globe. Today, I just unsubscribe from all the groups and stop following any news which can irritate me. And if no reason, I enjoy no music and smile during my days. I was also addicted to my phone and internet in general. It is all gone. What I can say is that this technology is 100% correct, and I cannot thank each and every one, starting from Mr. Keshe, for all the good job and beautiful work you are doing in the background for the sake of love and kindness. What I can add is that now, even on my sexual desire, they have reduced drastically. I can say up to 99%. My coffee intake went down from 10 a day to 2 a day. And today I did not even drink coffee. I don't know why. I just went for a lemon juice. And something else which happened, which is very, very nice, is that I used to snore a lot. Like, I can say that you can hear me at the end of the building snoring. But now I don't snore anymore. Friends around me and people living with me, they tell me that since the first session, I stopped snoring. I just talked to them, asked them a week later, came to my mind to ask them, maybe I was thinking maybe that has changed. And they all confirmed that my snoring stopped and my bruxism stopped. I used to crush my teeth at every night. All of them are gone. That one is very surprising too. And another thing which I want to add from the second session which we had last Friday, Mr. Keshe said that we tried new technologies there. So I used to sleep 8 to 9 hours a day. And on that day, on Friday, I just slept 3 hours. I slept at midnight and I woke up at 3 a.m. And it's the first time in my life where I feel totally recharged. And since Friday, Saturday passed, Sunday passed, Monday today, anytime I go to bed, I can remember all my dreams. It's like I feel half asleep. I'm not sleeping completely. I go to bed 1 hour later. If I have to go to the toilet, I remember my dream. I won't go back to sleep. I have a dream and I remember all of it. And I'm approximately 2 to 3 dreams per night. And it's the first time which I can remember all of them, and each time I go for it. That's really enjoyable. I think that the connection is happening and it's beautiful. I'm enjoying it all. That was my testimonial for you guys today. Thank you.
Wow, that's amazing, Hassan. That's that's a lot of changes all at once.
I have to
Solid.
confirm.
It's like a complete overhaul. It's not just one little habit, or that's a lot of big ones all at once. And that seems to be the best way to do it, is from the soul. It's like soul therapy instead of dealing with all the physicalities, individual items one by one, and trying to get a handle on all of that. Just do it all at once. Amazing. Go ahead.
And what happened? Another one. It is like that. Now I decided not to just go for food with no reason. Like on Thursday, I ate on Thursday around 4 in the afternoon. I did not go for dinner. Let's go for lunch. I ate at 4 in the afternoon. After we had the Friday session, I did not go for food. Saturday, I did not go for food. And finally Sunday, so Sunday at night. I've been 3 days without food, and really it's with no difficulties. It's not like before. I tried to stop for 11 days, and usually during the whole day you are weak. I used to sleep a lot. I feel no energy. I used to sleep a lot the first 3 to 4 days. But this time, no, I don't go for food, and I don't feel at all no energy. I feel completely energized. Yeah, this addiction session are more than addiction. It's something so beautiful. And we are going to have another one on next Friday. That will be so good. I hope everyone which is doing those sessions is benefiting from them and enjoying a different type of life now.
Mm-hmm.
I would like to confirm everything you just said, because I was present too, and I confirm everything you say. Like me too, I start to remember the dreams that I usually never do ever, and me too, my addiction are diminish. But I noticed also addiction to people, like for example, unless I'm letting go much easier things, so things less bother me. Or I had a dispute with my family in Christmas, and I'm not attached as before to what happened. Or it's like if I'm less attached to life, but in such a way where it's not just about me. It's this me things. It's less important, and I also noticed. For example, I went for a walk on Friday. I was zoomed out. This last Friday for me was very strong session, and so much that I couldn't do anything. I couldn't do any plan I made. It was out the window. I had to. I really felt very centered, but I just couldn't do anything else. Just stay in that feelings. Yeah, and I noticed my vision, because I have problem with my eyes. I noticed the color of everything around was much sharper, and I could see much better. Me too. I was keeping forgetting eating. Even today, I just one meal, but only because now the food get offered to me. I'm not looking for food, so I see me too more like a gift or more like a habit. So at one time we were in 3 and we had food enough for 2. So it was really great to be able to say that I don't need to eat, so you can eat. So they could eat. They were very hungry, so they could eat. And I could not eat and let them eat my part. So it was very great to not to have the need to eat. So I can see really this be a big thing, me too, because if we can have these fields in the air and everyone can feel like me, Hassan, and many other have felt, and not feel angry at all. It's a big things, or not be, or because even my dictionary diminished. I noticed, for example, I drink a lot of tea, zero, hardly any tea. Really, you forget about lots of stuff, and you let go very easy. So me too, I felt happier, but happier for me was because I was not attached. So when you're not attached, everything it's more simple. You need less, and so I want to share this. Me too, I think it's very, very great, this session. Thank you.
I think in somehow, whatever happened in the background, that emotion was satisfied. I thought of Mr. Keshe talking about people that wear silver jewelry or something like this their whole life, and then when they make a GANs of it, and I'm not sure if you would, I know he gives 3 cups, but whether you just put it on your skin, that they would walk away from it. So because that emotion was satisfied. And this is what he said would happen in some of these sessions. You wait, you listen, and then the soul at a certain point in time, just for that 1 nanosecond, puts in that emotion, or that part of it gets satisfied. And it sounds like Hassan had a grand slam there. With smoking, with eating, with other things. So that's a beautiful testimony. Thank you, Hassan. But that's what I was thinking. It's the emotion. Once that emotion is satisfied, then that need or that doesn't have to be met anymore. I don't know what that exact emotion is. It may be different with different people, but that's just my thoughts. As far as the eating, again, I've gone on that intermittent fasting, I think, since the Sunday session of the follow-up of the Dining with the Creator, and it's worked well. I probably just lost a few pounds, maybe 5, but more respect. And this is the whole process of trying to get not to look at things as energy packages. But as he told with Andreas, it's just not stopping the eating. It's also trying to absorb fields at the same time. And in the last workshop, I think he mentioned near the end, I think it was Lisbeth's question. He said, in the future, I'll teach you how to feed through your eyes. So we still have a lot to understand about this knowledge.
Think about the potential of it, because now in this gathering we diminish different things that we do daily, but in a disaster scenario where there is a population that have been a disaster, they are starving and they are scared, or I don't know, anything, if they can receive those cosmic ray.
The headphones.
Yeah, through the headphone.
He said, just get this app.
Yeah.
And you can feel some relief, whether it's for pain or for feeding or for warmth, I believe. In a disaster, he said this will be one of the first times this technology will be shown. And the governments will have to call for it, I believe. Go ahead, Stefania, sorry.
Yeah, it's got huge application, very serious one. Because if you try, I really invite everyone to try this monthly gathering. If you try, and you can, for example, like Hassan said, he didn't feel angry at all, and me too. It just
as well. I don't think I've only had that sensation of hunger probably 2 or 3 times. And then I can draw upon this plasmatic water in your mouth that's created, and it seems to relieve anything like that. But for the most part, 99% of the time, I haven't felt hungry.
Even think of people eating each other.
Yeah.
In a disaster situation, you see certain movie where people start to eat, turn into cannibal, to survival. You know, can you imagine what could be avoided and the help can be, so, you know, it's huge. I really felt, oh my God, here we are into something really, really big that gonna bring a big change.
Yeah, no question. And if they ban the rice and the beef and everything else, I may look like quite an appetizing meal, perhaps to someone. And I know Mr. Keshe said that would be the hard way to go for this planet, or even the United States, as he indicated in the past. But disaster relief, I think this will be one of the major ways it's shown in the upcoming period. But the sessions, I would also show that background if you could, Rick. I don't know if you want to, but it's just an offering by the Keshe Foundation. I say just, but again, this is the pinnacle of technology, I think, on this planet and the universe.
Which background do you mean, Mark?
The dining or the elevation of the souls of children. I know this is coming up on May 25th. And apparently there's many, many children, and it's not only for sexual abuse, as Mr. Keshe said, many children are held in certain conditions or slavery or abused in quite many other ways. So these next two meetings that are coming up, and this is what Stefania was saying, how important it is to try and attend if you can. Yes, this one. So this is elevating the soul of the children. And interestingly enough, we just heard from Mosfeq when he, that this was one of the original wishes of the Universal Council, he said. And the second original wish was the elevation of the adults. And that was in 2015 or 2016. So that wish is still being completed and being delivered. And I know Mr. Keshe said that he would even teach the children how to transmute out of a situation like this, probably bring the physicality with it.
I like how it says, I like how it says, book the virtual seat for your soul. It's a really nice phrase.
I don't know if Mushfaq here, but for example, in the Italian community, some people raise the issue because some people who financially cannot afford to the session. So I just remind them Mushfaq, testimonial of Mushfaq that they said in Bangladesh, because we are a plasma device, our body is made of plasma, so we got this cosmic ray inside us. So in Bangladesh, they connect with their soul. And it works. They've been done it so many times. They're very expert now. So I just invite the people in the Italian community for who cannot afford it to connect with their soul. And also, we know that you can always write to the foundation and say you cannot afford, and if there is someone who donates. That's why who got money and he doesn't know how to spend it, and you want to make a donation, they can make a donation so they can pay for who cannot afford it. So there are different ways for be present, but it's a big opportunity because we are connected all over the world for one purpose in a specific time and date. So it's really good to take this opportunity to practice even at the soul level if we don't have donation or possibility to go to pay, no? So I just want to remind that. I don't know if Mushfaq is here, you want to share something about it. But yeah, I think it's important to mention because it raises an issue in the Italian community.
Right, and this gives an opportunity for everyone to participate. Mr. Keshe said in the last workshop that we wish and we pray that we start to bring the end of this practice on this planet. But again, it's abuse across the spectrum of children. I was just reading an article where 4 or 5 family members got killed. The 15-year-old was driving the car, and they were all professional beggars. 15, 13, 12. They were in New York City driving back home, and he didn't negotiate it, but it was coming out about this family. And that's just another abuse of children. They're put on the street to be beggars and panhandlers and so on and so forth. So it goes across the whole spectrum from sexual abuse to the rest of it. So this gives us an opportunity to bring this change through our energies and not through actually physically doing something, or as he mentioned about the nation of Belgium and so on, which all can be heard in the last 484th, Rick, Knowledge Seekers Workshop.
Mm-hmm. Yes, imagine if the abuse of children, that habit, could be dropped as easily as Hassan has dropped most of his habits of the physicality. You know, it's hard to imagine in a way, but it's, on the other hand, when the soul is reached, the changes are virtually instantaneous, as is the communications and the transportation. In the world of the essence, it all happens in the moment and momentarily.
So thank you for bringing that up, Rick. And of course, these meetings will continue, I believe, throughout 2023. So if you haven't experienced, or you can at this point, perhaps you can join in the coming months. Different sessions. Again, I'm not sure what they all are, but they are announced, and you can find it in the Keshe Foundation store.
Right on. That's good you brought that up, Mark.
Because don't they say, Rick, it's all about the children? Everything they try to promote in the society. I remember when they started making the lottery legal, they said it was all going to go to education for the children. Now let's really serve the children the correct way.
Mm-hmm. I'll just read, I don't think we read that yet, the thing that came out about it. It's about elevating the soul of children with the new space plasma technology, as proven on the 16th of December 2022 during the Keshe family Christmas plasma flight. Man has reached the level where one can interact with his soul, with the soul of its creator, without the intermediaries in whatever name, where one can be enlightened with the knowledge of the creator and its creations through one's soul. And then it goes on with what we see in the image here as well. All right, well, I guess that's adequate for that one. Oh, the virtual seat for your soul. I like that.
Now, does this young fella on the screen have a testimonial, Rick?
Well, like yes.
To speak.
Yes, indeed. That's part of the Brazil testimonials. Perhaps we can have a look at that now. If there's no one that needs to go ahead with something right away, I think we're going to wait another half hour or so for Gianni's presentation. All right, well, let's dive into the Brazilian presentation now. I'm pretty sure we haven't done this one yet. There's, I think, this one and two others that we haven't covered. These are PDFs, and yeah, we'll go through and see what these testimonials are about. And I believe this is the one that has the dog image as well, which actually got a better picture we can see briefly here. And we'll see that also in the, oops, second here. This is the full image of the dog. And it's a happy dog because it's still alive because of the plasma technology, basically. And we'll hear the full story as we get into our presentation. So let's get back to that. And here Mark is going to volunteer for being our voice here. So if you can do that, Mark, that would be great. And if you get tired or want me to take over, just let me know.
Okay, just remind me if I start to go too quickly. Let's see if we can get this. Good afternoon, everyone. It took me a long time to come here to give my testimony because I needed to be sure what was really going on. My husband and I have made the cup of life together. I have a daughter who will be 22 now in August. During all these years, I didn't get pregnant anymore and didn't look and didn't took anything because I wanted to have more children. But I didn't really get pregnant. Today, I believe that the plasma water really gives life back to our body and reconnects everything to its place. I did a test and I am pregnant at the age of 45. Something that was no longer considered by us. I think Mr. Keshe gave warnings about these things, hasn't he, Rick? Certain workshops.
Warning was the word. That's right. It might come as a surprise to some women to get their period back and to actually become pregnant, possibly pregnant.
As a grandmother or a 75-year-old person, perhaps. And he said you didn't really want to do that, I don't think. So be careful.
Mm-hmm.
It's quite a burden at that age. Now, was that, I'm reading slow because of the translation going on in the background. Congratulations. You are one of many who has and will achieve this miracle through creation and elevation of the soul of both souls of you two and physicality to follow. This has been the promise of manifestation, of Mitra among children of man, in the new age. The physical age of the man and woman will not bear no consequences with creation and birth of the new child. As the soul is conceived first and manifests itself in the womb of the mother after the physicality. Is that too slow? Is it too broken up, Rick?
Seems good, Mark.
Okay. In early 2010, I used to tell my volunteers who were your age and above, and themselves grandparents, that to watch not to become mothers and fathers, as the plasma children will be creates through the souls of love of man and woman. And then physicality will take shape in earthly manner in the womb of the mother. Children of soul will come through elevation of souls of both. This has been a gift from the Creator to the new cycle of creation. Blessed His name and station. Anyone like to comment? Please feel free. Everyone has a microphone. Rick, I haven't been watching the board. I've been looking at the screen. Okay, Anders here. We have that.
Yes, and just to be clear, this was Mr. Keshe's answer to that first testimony. The last 2 pages that we read here.
Yes, and he's repeatedly said that on more than one occasion and location.
Okay, let's carry on.
Yes, and feel free, everyone, to make a comment or to add a thought to what is being read. And of course, Rick, you know, I'm going to read a wish tomorrow about the wish for a massive increase in testimonials. So I hope you gear up for the show. You may need many co-hosts.
You may change your mind by the time we get to page 29 of this.
You know, they say getting what you wish for is not always getting what you want.
Got to be careful what you wish for, yes.
Yeah. Okay. I have been using the GANS technology for more than a year. I lived in Spain, and there I have a friend who gave me plasma. Now I am in Brazil and brought plasma to my father, who was very sick of the lungs with the CO2, CuO, ZNO, and collagen. He recovered almost 100%. And I also have a cousin who took that was with endometriosis and with the plasmas healed himself. The doctors are amazed with her case. It is completely gone. Wow. Endometriosis is, I'm not sure what that is. I thought that was something with females, but I could be thinking of something else.
Yeah, it's has to do with the
Colons? No.
The womb, I believe. And it's an irritation process.
Or like a little polyp or something.
Mm-hmm.
I think, yeah, because they, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, it must have meant cousin in terms of female. Because the doctors were amazed with her case.
Right. Earlier on, I thought, okay, I thought I saw himself. But anyway, very nice. And this is, again, a freedom from the structure in a way. And this is what Mr. Keshe is saying. You're the last man standing. And you can apply all these things for energy, for wellness, for transportation. Again, we need to be taught more, obviously a lot more, and shared. But we have systems that will help facilitate that.
Okay, carry on.
And these are all beautiful, beautiful testimonies. I think they've spread that technology out in Brazil quite a bit during that One Cup, One Life process. Even though they had a pretty established network, I think it grew quite a bit through that whole entire process. And what a learning process this is, Rick, isn't it? The Keshe plasma technology and understanding its totality.
It's a never-ending process in that regard. Yeah.
Okay. Testimony 3. Good evening. I watched yesterday's Brazilian teaching where the guy, knowledge seeker, observed decrease in his electricity bill, making this connection that I reproduced. The guy observed the decrease in consumption, but as a good Virginian and detailist that I am, only this observation was not enough for me. I needed proof. So I filmed 2 times. Within 40 blinks of the light clock, I filmed with and without the nano-coated coil. And to be precise, about the time it took in both shots, I sent the video to the paint program. And in this program, I put the video in slow motion and cut it at the exact moment of the first blink and at the exact moment of the last blink. Each blink equals 1 watt-hour. Are you following this, Rick?
Got it, Mark.
Does that picture give you 1,000 words, Rick?
Well, more like 1,000 questions, but
okay. A result. Now, this is still part of the same testimony 3. The result. With the coil, and they do show a picture of a few copper coils on a couple wires, one nano-coated, one not nano-coated. But you'd have to actually see the picture. My description is not clear. With the coil connected to the shower wire. Oh, I remember this one. This is the one I was a little bit apprehensive with when I heard it. Again, that's because of my lack of understanding, most likely, of energy, but always we urge caution first. With the coil connected to the shower wire, 40 watt hours were consumed in 26.9 seconds. The second result, without the coil connected to the shower wire, 40 watt hours were consumed in 27.83 seconds. Conclusion, with the coil connected, there was a 3.34171
To be exact.
% reduction in electricity consumption. So what is he doing here, Rick? Is it a ground wire? I thought there was another testimonial where the fellow said you must be careful with this when hooking it up around water.
Usually we
shower.
don't mention bare wires and the shower at the same time. Usually water and electricity.
Yeah,
don't
I've
mix,
always
generally speaking. So yes, definitely be grounds for caution in this situation. But I guess he's talking about the coil that's stretched between the wire on the right and the wire on the left here. You know, between them.
So is this just a ground wire of some sort? I would think the piping
it's not
grounded, or no?
It's not actually like the wire on the right side. Looks to be an insulated wire, that white one, right?
This is a copper. This is a bare copper on the right, where your cursor is. And then on the left,
looks like a white wire. Oops.
Okay. On the left, I see the nano-coated wire.
Mm-hmm.
And then they have a spring connecting. Well, I see two nano-coated coils on the left.
Mm-hmm.
And a spring connecting them. Yeah, I don't think I've ever seen this before. But again, there are so many developments that will come out of this technology in the hundreds of thousands. And that may not be the final result of the development of this understanding, whatever that may be.
Let's see how
as far as this
continues
gentleman
here.
Yeah. Well, folks, I just did this experiment and rushed here to publish for you. I will do more because there may have been some failure, which I have no idea. I need more proof. I would also like, if anyone comes to test, please comment with me the result you had. Warning. And here we go, Rick. It was said in the teaching to be very careful with the wiring of the shower. Gee, I just, here I reiterate what was said. Do not mess with the wiring of the shower if you do not know what you are doing. It can be very dangerous. I think I would avoid the hole. Even pros make mistakes, Rick.
Yeah, maybe we'll just tell everyone to forget what you just heard. You did not hear this from us.
But
everyone
I
has
don't
to
know
be
how
responsible.
that. Go ahead, sorry, Rick.
I was just going to say everyone has to be responsible for their own wiring and the things they do with the coils and creating your own maggrav system and so on.
And was that a large percentage reduction he was referring to? But that was in the period of 1 hour.
Yeah, it's a pretty small reduction in the sense of where are we here?
I know the Keshe systems are probably start at 50%. Yeah.
3.34171. That's a pretty exact number, but around 3% is almost within experimental error, you could say. But on the other hand, if you were to look at your yearly bill. And if you could save 3% on a yearly electrical bill, if you were paying, say, $100 a month, then that's $1,200, and you would save about $36, maybe $40, which is something in a year. I'm just putting a little simple coil on. So.
And then multiply it by millions and hundreds of millions. Sure, that's a huge saving. But I think the systems Mr. Keshe is talking about have a lot more reduction capabilities. And maybe, again, this experiment has not finished and this is not the final result, if he continues to play with this.
Yeah, it's just to indicate this coil connection. It's not even a full maggrav, or it's not trying to get a 50% decrease or something. It's just an experiment to see what happens. And there's a 3.3% reduction, which is measurable. And the procedure seems correct, and the conclusion seems correct. So what can we say? That's his testimonial.
And everyone interacts with this technology slightly differently, don't they, Rick? Because we're all unique in a way.
Absolutely. We're all at different locations and different environments, and, conditions. So definitely. Okay, that's the end of testimony 3. Now we're into testimony 4.
Okay. Hello, seekers. I want to give my testimony. Maybe it can help other people with the same problem. My father and I have a skin problem that is very itchy, especially after bathing. I even put a filter in the shower, and it got a little better. After I learned about the GANs, I made the reactors of ZNO and CO2, put the two together, plus their amino acids, and started spraying the whole body after bathing. Never again I had the itching. I made a spray for my father also. And it happened in the same, okay? We are very happy with the amazing result. Here's the tip. Gratitude to Mr. Keshe. Yeah, the amino acids are quite important. I know he was talking about the zinc, and he said if you didn't include the amino acids with the zinc for a skin problem, that you would probably make it more itchy, or it wouldn't work quite that well. So you need the amino acids accompanying the plasma water, or however you're going to apply it. What causes that sort of itch, Rick? Is that hard water sometimes, or is it just the emotions? I know in Germany they're asking them not to shower so often, which can be a little irritating. I guess it's an energy policy.
The thing is about it can be itchy, especially after bathing, because I went to a skin specialist when my skin broke out. It was the worst event of my life, basically. It was so excruciating. The doctor said, well, it's something at work that's causing the irritation. But he mentioned that you might find it feels better to use hot water, like on your hands when they break out, and on your arms. But he says, don't do that, because that'll make it worse. I was like, okay. And sure enough, even though it feels really good to have that warm water and so on, afterwards, the results are much worse. So it could be that just the hot water of having a bath or shower could be enough to irritate the skin, even though it feels good while you're doing it.
Yeah, I was thinking maybe the soap wasn't fully rinsed off, but probably not. I know we used to supply laundry products to commercial laundries and other ones, and we used to test the skin with the wide range pH indicator. It normally came up in the orange, like 5.5 on the outside of the skin. Don't know how accurate that is, but that was it. And then you would also, after doing laundry, you would test the pH of the final product once it came out of an extract mode. And that should be very below 7 at least. Otherwise, you ended up with some sort of itching, especially when it came to hospital linens and other linens. The pH had to be quite correct, or you'd have that sort of like bugs are attacking you,
yeah, like thousands of mosquitoes all at once. It's the worst thing I've ever gone through.
That just means the pH is not matching. You know, there's probably residual soaps or alkalis left in the linen, and you're having that interaction. But it's more critical for people that are on linens for the most part of the day. But very nice, simple solution here.
Yeah, that's a good point. When my skin was activated, I couldn't wear any polyester, or couldn't have things touching my arms, or it would break out. I couldn't even be in the sunshine and would break out from the sunshine. So it was I wish I knew about the GANS technology back then when that happened. It would have helped so much. And that was my first application, so to speak, of the plasma technology.
Wow.
On myself, which was to spray with the ZNO and CO2 combo. And I said, either this is going to, like everything else was irritating my skin. I tried all the health store, various creams. And, they've got a whole ton of them. But every one of them would just irritate and make my skin feel worse. And so when I sprayed with the GAN spray, it was just like instant relief. I just went, this is actually feeling good. Wow, that's amazing. So even though I was hesitant because, you know, it's a home brewed thing that you're spraying on your skin, and I know it's kind of iffy, especially when you're sensitive to, like, you don't want anything on your skin if you have tried a bunch of things and none of them worked and it just made it worse. It's like, I don't want to try anything. But yeah, I forced myself and I had very good results and was very happy and still use it. In fact, I just did before we began the workshop, and sprayed my hand down with some of the GANS water I have handy here.
Yes, Mr. Keshe talks about giving us 3 cups, one for breathing, one for washing, and what is the third cup? For ingesting.
Yes.
And that is the 3-cup system. And apparently it's employed in other hidden ways and in other ways in this technology. So again, we're just touching a small aspect of the capability of what's here, as I understand it. Okay, here is again from the testimony 3.
I think we're on the testimony 5 now.
5, okay.
I think so.
I meant we just finished up testimony 3. Did we skip over 4, or there wasn't 4?
No, 4 was the skin problem.
4 was the skin. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So this is testimony 5.
All right. So this is a study on schizophrenia. And what is schizophrenia, Rick? Just in case any in the audience, I'm sure they've heard the term, but is this a multiple personality person?
Well, let's actually just figure that out here. Let me just...
Because Mr. Keshe has spoken quite extensively about schizophrenia, and he does have a totally different understanding and admiration for what he calls the beautiful people.
Right. Well, if I look it up, the Mayo Clinic says schizophrenia is a serious mental disorder in which people interpret reality abnormally. Schizophrenia may result in some combination of hallucinations, delusions, and extremely disordered thinking and behavior that impairs daily functioning. It can be disabling. People with schizophrenia require lifelong treatment, at least according to the medical profession. It says the symptoms of schizophrenia vary dramatically from person to person, both in pattern and severity. I thought it had more to do with split personality and that kind of thing. Just trying to see here.
But anyway, Mr.
Well,
Keshe,
it just mentions 5 types of symptoms: characteristic delusions, hallucinations, disorganized speech, disorganized behavior, and the so-called negative symptoms.
right. And as Mr. Keshe looks at an aspect of this, there, instead of a woman having 5 children, I don't know what they call that, Rick, not quadruplets, that's 4. But 5. Oh, okay, quintuplets. And instead of 5 souls and 5 children, you now have 5 souls in 1 child. So it's just because we don't understand the process of creation that we're mislabeling it. And then, of course, profiting off the abuse of these people, which are normally, as he said, one had advised how many presidents? 6 that he knew well. Highly intelligent and an interesting person, I guess. Yes, it's again a whole different understanding the structures have to go through to correct the abuses in this area. Although he's referred to us as schizophrenic as well, that we do operate in this both dimensions, one of physicality and one of the energy state.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, in a way, we're all schizophrenic because we're under the hallucination of the physicality, subject to the illusion. All right, let's carry on.
Yep. It was very impactful for me to learn that according to his studies and hard research, schizophrenics are quote unquote twins occupying one body. My father did not know how to handle the situation at the time, nor did family and friends. Me and my 2 other siblings were adopted by different families. We suffered a lot. Schizophrenia is not a disease. Schizophrenics are us who do not understand the creation of man. M. Keshe. I want to share with you that unfortunately, this very important knowledge and valuable discovery did not come in time for the life of my mother, who was diagnosed with this disease. She died in the sanitarium in Minas Gerais. And not only she, but many who lived in that region had the same diagnosis. Were the souls gathering in that particular area because of the field strength, Rick? Or did
or was it just bad water?
Or did a couple of judges and some businessmen own a psychiatric hospital?
Yeah, that could be too. They strangely all had the same diagnosis.
Yeah, you better. But anyway, it's a whole subject for discussion and opening up to the general public. And Mr. Keshe, again, is a master at understanding this. And we're learning to be. After she had suffered horrors with the worst possible treatments at the time, such as electric shocks, straitjacket, torture, extraction of teeth, medication, 13 very strong types, sexual abuse, and with that, the birth of my brother. She died because she was also raped and beaten to death inside the institution, which gave no explanations. The world needs to know about this. The doctors need to know about this. How many suicides and abuses could have been avoided if society knew and accepted it? I think of my mother's life right now and know that the fact that I am a knowledge seeker and know this truth on this day, today, in some way on the Creator's part, is to help others. Her death was not in vain. Thank you so much, Mr. Keshe, for your efforts and discoveries about plasma. May the Creator reward you. End of testimony 5. Wow. I didn't realize that continued, Rick. I know my mother had worked in a facility in Connecticut here. I forgot, what did they call it? The Institute of Life or something. I think it was a psychiatric hospital. And she told of many, many stories of some of these abuses, especially with the electro shocking of people, which used to be quite a standard practice.
Yeah, that was considered a, what do they call it?
Accepted.
Yeah, they have a phrase for that in the medical profession when it's something established they've been doing for years, like an established medical treatment. But they have a special word for it. I can't remember.
Oh, yeah. Convulsion, you mean? Yeah.
That was electric shocks were part of the standard treatment, as well as frontal lobotomies, actually, for those that were having troubles, mental troubles. Frontal lobotomy was recommended and part of the standard procedures. It's supposed to make housewives much calmer.
Yeah, I think the people were shaking a lot under that like almost a convulsive state, right?
Probably the electroshock makes you convulsive, and then you have to do a frontal lobotomy to make sure that you're calm after all that.
So these are some of the things that are going to change and are changing as we're speaking.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Hello, Rick. Hello, everyone.
Hello, everybody.
Oh, hi, Johnny. All right. Well,
this book, Rick?
Pardon me?
Is it time to close this book?
Well, just about. We have
Another.
one more testimonial perhaps we should do in this
Okay.
in this run. If you want to hang on just for a minute there, Johnny, let's finish up here and then we'll be right with you.
Oh, this is on your background picture. Very well.
Yeah, we should cover this one at least.
I think it links. Good morning. We are already taking the water of life, and this puppy, whose name is Nala, is also taking it. She is elderly and caught Kala-Azar disease, but with treatment, she is out of risk. However, she was left with sequels, one of which was difficulty breathing, where she often had terrible coughs. The coughs were constant, and I used to go crazy and give her a medicine, those used by asthma sufferers, to make her feel better and to calm her down. She started taking the water, like 20 ml a day. The cough stopped. Can you believe it? She doesn't cough anymore. So I keep giving it to her so that she gets better and gets a few more years of life. And she certainly is looking happy, this little pup sitting in the car with a small chain around its neck, with the mouth open, the tongue hanging out, and that bright look of what's next. I'm ready to go. So yes, it works for
exactly
same way.
That's why I thought the puppy would be a good, or the dog would be a good poster child for our workshop today. Background image. It's a gleam in the eye.
Yeah, and all the souls have that ability to elevate. From the mosquito to the ladybug to the dog to the man to the planet and the whole creation. And I think that's what's going on, isn't it, Rick? A total upgrade, as they say.
I think we're all
rehab.
getting an upgrade. Yeah.
Well, thank you for allowing me to read.
Thank you very much, Mark, for doing so. And let's move out of our testimonial. Just we'll try to mentally remember we're at page
going into 7.
Page 12. We completed
page 12, or testimony
7. Yeah,
7.
Testimony 7.
Yeah.
And we can pick that up next time around or later, depending if we have time. All right, Johnny, I think it's time for us to get back to you. So.
Okay, Rick, I'm ready.
Okay, you have some sharing that you want to do, or do you want me to show some of the pictures that you sent, or how do you want to do it?
Facem noi share screen-ul în seara aceasta.
We will share screen tonight.
Okay, and let me make sure the audio is activated. There we go. And
un moment. Okay. În seara aceasta vorbim despre ultimul atelier făcut.
Tonight we will speak about the last workshop we had.
Pentru cine nu ne cunoaște, suntem Comunitatea Plasmatică Universală din România.
For those of you that don't know us, we are the Romanian community, plasmatic community.
Suflete care sunt răspândite pe tot cuprinsul României și în afara ei.
So that are spread all over the world and in Romania too.
Împreună am cercetat, studiat tehnologia plasmatică.
Together, we study the plasmatic science.
Și datorită rezultatelor obținute, ne-am decis să împărtășim cu toată lumea.
And because of our results, we decided to share with all the world.
La modul liber, la fel cum și domnul Keshe a dăruit această tehnologie pentru această civilizație.
Really, just like Mr. Keshe gift to us this technology free.
În seara aceasta arătăm cum am construit spațiul dăruirii din Târgu Mureș.
We will show you how we constructed the space of giving in the Târgu Mureș.
Făcând un atelier despre dimensiunea plasmei.
By organizing a workshop with plasmatic science.
Folosind cele 4 gansuri de bază.
Using the 4 basic gases.
Și nanomateriale.
And nano-materials.
Am început în Târgu Mureș mai devreme cu construcția unui dom.
We started earlier with the construction of a dome. Dome.
Pentru această construcție am folosit nanomateriale și gans.
For this construction, we use nanomaterials and gases.
Aceeași tehnologie pe care o vom vedea în continuare.
The same technology that we will see next.
Pornind de la materie, nanomateriale, gans, plasmă.
Starting from the matter, nanomaterials, GANs and plasma.
O parte din cei care au participat la crearea și atelierul din spațiul dăruirii au participat și la construirea acestui dom.
A small part of was present in the construction of the dome.
O altă parte au venit și din celelalte zone ale României.
Other people came from other places from Romania.
Și este minunat că oameni, suflete, ne-am decis ca să oferim, să punem la dispoziție cunoașterea și experimentele pe care le-am făcut.
So it's beautiful because people are sharing the experience that they have with the plasma science.
Și ne putem uni să construim tot ceea ce ne este necesar împreună.
We can come together to build all that we are needing for all of us together.
Acest dom este un dom de 6 metri și este domul comunicării.
This dome is a 6-meter diameter dome and it's called the communication dome.
Pentru că aici am reușit să stabilim o linie de comunicare care ne-a condus către dăruire.
Because here we managed to establish a communication line that will bring us forward.
Este al 4-lea loc din România unde este declarat spațiul al dăruirii.
This is the first place that is declared as being the giving space, giving space.
Și cum putem vedea aici în imagine, am început dintr-un spațiu gol.
And how you can see in the image, we started with an empty place.
Pus la dispoziție de Avram.
That Avram put at our disposal.
Am trecut la nanoacoperirea lui.
The first step is the nano-covering of the house.
Aici am făcut combinația de nanomateriale, plante plus plasmă, CO2-ZNO.
Here I make the combination between nanoplants, GANs, and the plasma water of CO2 and ZNO.
Este ceea ce facem în spațiile noastre în momentul când începem.
This is the first step that we are making in all our spaces that we are starting.
Noi folosim doar produse făcute de noi.
We are using products made entirely by us.
În cazul acesta, nanoplantele le folosim și la pulverizare casă, și în agricultură, și pentru crearea de detergenți.
In this case, the nanoplants we use it in agriculture, in the soaps, and in the changing the environment in houses.
După cum se poate vedea în imagine, nu este necesară folosirea unei măști.
How you can see in the image, it's not necessary to use a mask.
În momentul în care știm cum să preparăm toate aceste plasme,
in the moment that we know how to prepare all this plasma,
noi deja suntem obișnuiți cu acest lucru.
we are already okay with
Noi suntem obișnuiți cu plasma.
We are accustomed with plasma.
Și facem aceste pulverizări în toate spațiile noastre.
And we make this spraying in all our houses.
Aici ce am realizat, am așteptat ca să vină toți și am făcut-o împreună.
In this place, I waited for all the people to be present so we can do it all together.
În găleată, firesc, avem nanomateriale și plasmă.
Of course, in the bucket we have nanomaterials and plasma water.
Și pregătim terenul, ștergând ceea ce a căzut de sus.
And we prepare the room with the bits of pieces that just drop from the ceiling.
După ce am plasmatizat spațiul, am scos bobinele și le-am pus să se acomodeze cu mediul.
After we plasmatized the place, we took out the coils so that they can accustom to the place.
Sunt bobine de cupru nano acoperite în mediul caustic.
These coils are nano-covered in the caustic,
care au fost pregătite în anul anterior în acea zonă.
They were prepared last year in the same place.
Cum ați văzut, nu atingem direct nano, ci de cârligul de agățare.
How you can see, we do not touch the nano directly, we use the hook.
Și în general le lăsăm 24 de ore ca să se acomodeze cu mediul.
And usually we let them 24 hours to accustom to the environment.
Apoi le folosim.
And then we use them.
Aici Horațiu arată cum se fac bobinele.
Here Horacio show how to make the coil spring.
Arătăm cum trebuie făcută și un recipient în care să folosim. Noi folosim recipiente de 2 litri aici.
We are showing how to use the jars. We are using a 2-liter jar here.
Okay. Toți participanții au învățat să facă bobinele și au plecat cu ele acasă.
All the participants learned how to make their coils and get to take them to their homes.
Urmând să pornească fiecare reactoarele, la fel cum le-am făcut pe cele de aici.
By continuing to starting the reactors just how we started them here.
Aici Horațiu explicând cum se face.
Here, Hratz is explaining how the sense of rotation.
Bobinele le-am mai prezentat și în testimoniale cum se fac.
The coils we presented them in many occasions.
Este bobina pe care o știți, cea de unde folosim sârmă de 6 metri.
Is the coil that you know, in which we use the 6-meter lengths of wire.
Iar aici pregătim bobinele pentru reactoarele pe care le vom vedea în continuare.
And here we are preparing the coils for the next reactors that we will see.
Aceste informații le găsiți pe paginile noastre.
This information you can find from our pages in Telegram and our places that we show.
Și firesc stăm la dispoziția celor care vor să le facă.
And we are at the disposal of any people that want to learn to make them themselves.
Okay. Aici deja fiecare a trecut la dezizolarea sârmei, iar apoi la făcutul bobinelor.
And now everybody is starting to prepare the wire for making the coils.
Aici, pentru cei care sunt la început, facem bobinele din sârmă de cupru monofilar.
Here, for those that are at the beginning, we are making the coils with one wire.
Iar apoi, în următoarea etapă, trecem la bobine din cupru multifilar.
And the next phase is making coils with multi-wire coil.
Uimitor cum fiecare și-au făcut bobinele cu atenție și ne-am bucurat să vedem că persoane care n-au făcut niciodată așa ceva până acum s-au adaptat extrem de rapid.
It's amazing how people that have not made these coils until now just happen to be very skilled at making them very easily.
Am uitat să menționez că vineri, în momentul când am început atelierul, în ziua de vineri am făcut doar introducerea și materiale pe care le-am vizionat ca să înțelegem ce este plasma.
I forgot to mention that at the beginning, we just started by introducing plasma technology and watching some movies with the nanotechnology and gases.
Am repetat simulările și multe materiale cu ce sunt nanomaterialele.
We show many things with what nanomaterials represents and gases.
Ceea ce ne-a ușurat munca pentru ziua de sâmbătă.
Which make it easier for us next day to explain the reactors.
Okay. Aici deja bobine făcute de participanți.
Here we have already coils made by participants.
Aici am nano-acoperit bețișoarele de lemn pentru reactoare.
Here we nano-covered the wooden sticks that we use on reactors.
Aici arătăm cum poziționăm bobinele.
Here we are showing how we positioning the coils on the reactor.
Aici am arătat poziționarea pentru reactorul de zinc.
Here we showed the positioning of the coils for the zinc oxide reactor,
Unde distanța este de 9 cm.
where the distance is 9 centimeters between the coils.
Noi folosim aici o legătură prin nano, fără LED.
We are using here a connection with nano without any LED.
În unele cazuri, în alte cazuri folosim și LED-uri.
In some cases, in other cases, we are using LED.
Dar odată ce am făcut bobina nano de conexiune, reactorul produce magnific.
But once we made the connection with the nano copper and zinc very well, the reactor is starting very good.
Okay? Aici am completat nanomaterialele cu plasmă pentru nanomateriale.
Here we add some plasma water to the nanomaterials.
Între timp am pornit reactoarele și ceea ce s-a întâmplat, ca de obicei, magnific.
Started and gases started to build up, and of course amino acid.
Da, aici am arătat, este esențial și o confirmare faptul că aminoacidul apare deasupra.
And by appearing the amino acid is the confirmation that the gas is formed.
Iar aici am invitat toți participanții să facă o extracție din două reactoare, CO2-Z9.
And here we ask all the participants to make an extraction from the CO2 reactor and Z9 reactor.
Pentru a se obișnui deja pentru momentul când o fac la ei acasă.
To be accustomed when they do it at their homes.
Deja am și primit unele confirmări și foto că funcționează reactoarele.
We have already have some message from people that started their reactor and they obtain a gas very easily.
Și aici aș vrea să întrebăm ceva, Ric. În imagine apare vețelul lui Horațiu, Ștefan.
And I would want to ask something, Rick. In this image, Stefan, little boy of Horatiu, is appearing. So I think if it's okay.
It's okay, Rick?
Yes.
Ok. Atunci continuăm.
Then we continue.
Pentru că și Ștefan a participat la extragerea gansului.
Because Stefan participated at the extraction of the gas too.
Ceea ce vedem în reactoare este aproximativ după 12 ore.
What we see in reactors is after 12 hours.
Și vom vedea ce se întâmplă în continuare.
And we will see what will happen next.
Cum spuneam, fiecare participant extrage.
Just how I said, every participant is making this extraction.
Ștefan, delegați.
Even Stefan.
Tatăl lui Ștefan, al lui Horațiu.
This is my father, father of Horatiu.
Din, în timpul atelierului, din recipienții de 2 litri, am extras vreo 12 litri de gans cu totul.
In all the workshop, in this workshop, we extract almost 12 liters of gas in 4 days. 3 days.
O parte din gans a mers și la ferma pe care o cunoașteți, unde rezultatele sunt magnifice.
A part of the gases went to the farm of cows that we showed.
Am trebuit ca să mai eliberăm borcane, că le-am cam umplut pe toate, care le aveam.
We have to bring another empty jars, because the other ones were full.
De fiecare dată când ajungeam la jumătate, completam din nou cu apă, plasmă,
when we have in the reactor half of plasma salinity, we used to put it up to fill it up again, so we can extract again.
Noi folosim o 9% clorură de sodiu.
We use 9% of salt.
Yeah. În acest caz,
in this case,
sunt situații când folosim salinități mai mici și mai mari.
There are situations when we use different salinity, bigger or smaller.
Așa arată reactorul după ce l-am completat cu soluția salină.
This is the reactor after we add the salt solution.
Iar participanții au trecut la extragerea din reactorul de zinc-oxigen.
And the people went to extract from the zinc oxide reactor.
Se poate vedea aminoacidul de deasupra.
We can see the amino acid at the top.
O să mai lucrez la imagini, să le deschid cu altceva, miercuri.
I will work with the image, so it will be better Wednesday.
Pentru că doar ce am venit de la atelier.
Because we just came from the workshop.
Aceasta este un reactor de CH3 făcut de unul dintre participanți.
This is a CEST reactor made by one of the participants.
Paula, căruia îi mulțumim.
Paula, which we thank.
Pe care am și celebrat-o, a fost ziua ei de naștere.
And we celebrated her because it was her birthday.
Iar sâmbătă seara am celebrat.
And Sunday night we celebrated.
Toți cei prezenți au perceput aceste câmpuri, le-au văzut și le-au perceput.
All the people that were present were able to see these fields and capture the images.
Au fost făcute la orele 21.
They were made at 9 o'clock at night.
Pentru că apoi am început celebrarea.
And then we started the celebration.
Cu atâta energie.
With so much energy.
Încât toți ne-am distrat.
So everybody has a lot of fun.
Am dansat, am cântat.
We danced, we sang.
Și în această intensitate putem înțelege de ce și cantitatea de GAN.
And with this intensity, we can understand the high quantity of gas.
În ziua următoare, după ce am făcut extracția, producția a continuat.
The next day, after we made the extraction, the productions of gas continued.
Am scos reactoarele afară după extracție.
We took the reactor outside after the extraction.
Am folosit plasmă lichidă în centru cu o plantă care pentru înrădăcinare.
We used in the center liquid plasma with a plant for making roots.
Am făcut și alte jocuri cu lavandă.
We made different games with lavender.
Putem să vedem ce aminoacid frumos.
You can see the beautiful amino acid.
Am pus și răsaduri între reactoare.
We put some tomatoes between the reactors.
Care sunt pregătite pentru transplantat.
They are ready for planting.
Aici, interesant este apa pe care am folosit-o pentru scufundat bobinele la nanoacoperirea cu flacără.
This is the water that we use to immerse the coils when we use the nano covering with fire at copper.
Iar în găleată, ce vedem la fund sunt nanomateriale și aceste steluțe și spirale care au apărut.
And at the bottom you see the nanomaterials from copper and little stars.
Alte poziționări.
Different positioning.
Aici am adăugat și un copăcel care l-am primit.
Here we add a little tree.
Laurel.
That we have.
Aici arătăm ce facem cu gansurile pe care le obținem.
Here we are showing what we are doing with the gases that we are obtaining.
Am mai prezentat acest lucru. Aici am folosit sticle cu plasmă.
Here we use plasma in bottles, big bottles.
Într-o găleată de 500 de litri.
In a big container of 500 liters.
Am băgat o mulțime de plante de toate felurile.
We put there lots of plants of different kind.
Nu am mai avut același miros pe care l-au plantele în fermentație și apa de deasupra, de la jumătate în sus, pură.
They do not have the odor that the plant started to have when they are decomposing. and the water from above was very clear.
De fapt, vorbim de apă structurată prin câmpuri magnetico-gravitaționale ale plasmei.
Actually, we are talking about water that been structured with fields, magnetic gravitational fields.
Am agitat ca să se vadă ce este de desubt.
I turned it so you can see what is at the bottom.
În momentul când este lăsată să se depoziteze, se întâmplă același fenomen. Jumătate este cristal, restructurată, jumătate are depuneri pe fund.
And afterwards, if you let it settle, the same effect will appear. The top of the water will be crystal clear and the bottom will be dark.
Am testat apa și avea un pH 7.
I tested the water and have a pH of 7.
Și un ppm în jur de 140.
And
ppm?
ppm around 140.
După cum ați văzut, am și gustat din apă.
As you have seen, we tasted the water.
Partea aceasta care o vedem colorată este plină de nanomateriale și este excelentă pentru oamenii verticali, pentru echilibrarea solului.
And this dark water is very good for the vertical people and for the equilibration of the soil and plants.
O altă întrebuințare, am creat niște dispozitive de mediu.
Another way to use it, we constructed made a device that is used for environment equilibration.
Elefanțelul albastru.
The blue elephant.
Care în mod tradițional se folosește împreună cu medicamentele pentru inhalare.
That traditionally is used with some medicine to inhale.
Noi aici am umplut un furtun cu gaz făcând 12 spirale.
And here we use a tube filled with gas and we make 12 spirals around it.
Unde am folosit gaz CO2-ZNO.
And we use gases of CO2 and ZNO.
În partea de jos, unde se vede acest buton unde am cursorul, aici are filtru și am adăugat plasmă și aici.
This is what I show with the mouse. This is a filter made out of cotton, and we put gases here too.
Ok, dispozitivul, elefanțelul este o pompă de aer.
The device, the blue elephant is a air pump.
Dar dispozitivul este creat să poată fi folosit și fără pompă.
But this device can be used without the pump.
Respirându-se prin doar această bucată.
Just by breathing through this single piece.
Noi îl folosim pur și simplu pentru mediu.
We use it for the environment.
În cazul acesta, mediul interior.
In this case, the inside environment.
Pentru că am observat că chiar dacă suntem în centrul orașului, dacă restructurăm aerul, ne simțim mult mai ok.
Because I observed even if we are in the center of the city, if we can make our very nice environment for us.
Am folosit același CO2 și ZNO.
Use the same CO2 and ZNO.
Și aici adăugăm în recipient 3 picături.
And now we add in this recipient 3 drops of CO2, plasma water and amino acid.
Yes, fără gas. Clar.
Without any gas, just the plasma water and amino acid.
Noi am pus 3 picături, dar fiecare poate să decidă când experimentează să-și facă propria combinație.
We put 3 drops, but everybody can experiment different quantities.
Aici vom vedea, adăugăm și apă plasmatică.
And here we will add some plasmatic water.
Noi am adăugat 9 ml, dar putem să adăugăm 3 ml, 6 ml.
We add 9 milliliters, but we also can add 3 milliliters or 6 milliliters. It's okay.
Și se poate vedea, practic, aerul trece prin plasmă.
And how you can see, the air is pumped through plasma.
Și ajunge undeva la, ca și mărime, la între 3 și 5 microni.
And when it's outside, it's between
3-5 microni.
about 3 or 5 micron of steam.
Ceea ce face ca la această mărime să fie absorbită imediat de mucoasele.
In this case, this steam is very, very well absorbed by the mucus in the nose and in the mouth.
Încă o dată, repetăm, este un dispozitiv de mediu.
And we say it again, it's an environment device.
Nu este un dispozitiv medical.
It's not a medical device.
Cei care aveți probleme de sănătate, consultați medicul.
Those of you that have health issues, you have to consult the doctor.
Noi acest dispozitiv l-am pus la dispoziție pentru experimentare.
This device we put at the disposal for people to test it and try it.
Primul l-am creat cu aproape 5 ani în urmă.
The first we made it almost 5 years ago.
Și consecințele folosirii lui sunt magnifice.
And by using them, the consequences are magnificent.
Poate fi lăsat pur și simplu într-o anumită zonă să facă acest lucru.
You can let it just by in a room and fill the whole room with these vapors.
Iar pentru respirație, inspirăm pe nas, expirăm pe gură.
Respiration, we inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth.
Respirăm pe gură, expirăm pe nas.
And then backwards.
Și aceasta este o serie.
And this is one series.
Noi facem 3 serii.
We used to make 3 series of this
Apoi fiecare
method, and then afterwards everybody can use how they feel.
Acesta este unul dintre dispozitive, am făcut mai multe.
This is one of the devices. We made some more devices like this.
Acesta există în spațiul dăruirii din Târgu Mureș și este pus la dispoziție tuturor celor care vor să testeze.
This device is freely for testing in Târgu Mureș in the space of giving.
Stăm la dispoziție a celor care doresc să le și arătăm cum poate să-l facă.
And we can show people how to make them themselves if they are interested.
Atât în acest spațiu cât și online.
Also online and of course in this place, in this
în cazul acestui spațiu care se află lângă piața centrală din Târgu Mureș.
In this location that is nearby a big shopping center.
Și de fapt spațiul dăruirii este oază.
But this space of giving is an oasis.
La Avram în grădina lui există și o fântână care este prima fântână plasmatizată din Târgu Mureș.
Avram had a fountain at his garden, and it will be the first plasmatic fountain inside this town, this city.
Iar apa plasmatică stă la dispoziția tuturor.
And of course, the plasmatic water is at the disposal of any people that want to take it freely.
Clar, în mod liber.
Freely, yes.
Un alt tip de dispozitiv de mediu.
Another type of device, just like to be different.
Dar procedura pe care am folosit-o aceeași.
But it's the same procedure.
Am pus cele 3 picături.
We put the 3 drops.
O prietenă a întrebat ce face în cazul în care ea nu are acasă borcanele.
A friend asked me what you must do if she didn't have the big jars.
Și aici am arătat că eprubetele cu care fiecare participant au plecat acasă au aceste picături.
And here we show that every participant that get this test tube to go home, they can use it, take the drops from them.
Clar, până în momentul ce își va face propriile gansuri.
Of course, until the moment that their own ganses have their own ganses.
Aici, în acest atelier, ne-am axat mai mult pe cele 4 gansuri de bază.
Here in this workshop, we mainly concentrated on the 4 basic ganses.
Vorbind despre cupe, cupa 1 și cupa 2.
Talking about the cups, cup 1 and cup 2.
Care fiecare și le face acasă.
So anybody can make them at home.
Clar, este esențial să știm ce facem.
It's very essential to know what we are doing.
Iar pentru acest lucru există Fundația Keshe Institutul Spațial.
And for this, we have the Institute of Keshe Foundation, Space Institute.
Unde este informația în original.
Where you can find the original information.
Ok, aici în imagine, cum se poate vedea, și am spus mai devreme, dispozitivul se poate folosi fără pompă, doar această parte și furtunul care se poate introduce într-o apă plasmatică sau în altceva.
And here, as we explain it later, you can use this part of this sorry of this device just by breathing without the pump, and you can put the tube in a plasmatic water, the end of the tube, and just breathing with the force of the lungs.
Avram continuă să-și facă bobinele în fundal.
Avram is making his coils in the background.
Un alt dispozitiv.
Another device.
Acesta se află în Pădureni, Cluj.
This device is here in
aici unde este una dintre bazele noastre.
Here we have one of the base.
Aici este un alt spațiu al dăruirii.
This is not a place of giving freely.
Și acest dispozitiv stă la dispoziția tuturor celor care vor să-l testeze și să învețe să facă.
And this device is at the disposal of any people that want to test it and learn to make them themselves.
Aici o imagine cu domul din Valea Dragonilor.
This is an image with a dome from the Dragon Valley.
Unde începând din 12 mai până în 30 mai,
where from 12th of May until the 30th of May,
organizăm un atelier unde arătăm cum să construiesc domuri geodezice, plasmatice.
We organize a workshop where we show how to build the geodesic dome, plasmatic geodesic domes,
Stove rachetă,
rocket stoves,
și mai construim încă câteva domuri.
And we are building couple of domes
Pentru că cei din Vale deja au învățat cum să-și pregătească materialele, cum să pregătească lemnuțele nanocopere.
because the people from this valley learn how to prepare their materials with nanoplants and nanomaterials.
Practic, noi de data aceasta doar îi ajutăm la montaj.
Practically now we just help them for the assembling of the dome.
Este modul nostru de lucru.
This is our way of work.
Noi arătăm cum se construiește.
We are showing how to build.
Vorbim despre tehnologia plasmatică.
We are talking about the plasmatic technology.
Reamintim că este după înțelegerea pe care o avem acum.
We remember the people that is from our understanding that we are having now.
Și că informația pe care am luat-o și noi din Fundația Keshe,
And the information that we also took from the Keshe Foundation,
am primit-o ca pe un dar și o dăruim mai departe.
we have it as a gift and we give it away as a gift too.
Mulțumesc pentru posibilitatea de a împărtăși aceste lucruri.
Thank you for the possibility to share these wonderful things.
Mai pun câteva imagini. Ultima recoltă de gaz.
We will share some image with the last recoltation of gas.
Apoi răspundem la întrebări, dacă este cazul.
And then if we have any questions, we will get the answer.
Ok, un moment.
One
Avem
moment.
și niște imagini frumoase cu... Da, le-am găsit. Ok. Aici, în momentul când am început să punem gansurile neprobete,
Here, when we started to put the gases in the test tubes,
asta deja era în a treia zi.
this is been in a third day.
Și chiar înainte de plecare am făcut ultima recoltă.
And just before we left, we take another run,
Iar recipientele mari au plecat la ferma de văcuțe.
and the big jars went to the cow farm.
Aici echipa, seara la poveste.
This is the team, night at storytelling.
Și o magnifică imagine cu plântuța pe care ați văzut-o în centrul reactoarelor.
And a beautiful image with the plants that you saw in the middle of the reactors,
Unde putem să vedem ceva magnific vis-a-vis de câmpuri.
when we can see something magnificent from a field side point of view.
Aici sunt probetele cu gaz,
This is the test tubes with gas,
CO2-NO,
CO2 and NO.
aici o imagine în oglindă,
This is image in a mirror.
îi putem spune viața într-o cupă a vieții.
And we can say it's life inside the cup of life.
Ok. Mulțumim încă o dată.
Thank you again.
Informația în original o găsiți în Fundația Keshe Institutul Spațial.
The original information, you can find it in the Space Institute, Keshe Foundation.
Tot ceea ce am arătat și împărtășim aici și în celelalte grupuri este în conformitate cu înțelegerea pe care o avem azi.
All that we are sharing in this group and other groups is to our understanding that we are having now.
Reamintim că tehnologia Keshe este o tehnologie a sufletului.
We remind you that Keshe technology is a soul technology.
Și trecerea de la materie nano gans plasmă
And the step between matter, nano, gans and plasma
este doar etapa în care cunoaștem și învățăm să lucrăm cu câmpurile plasmatice.
is the phase that we are learning how to work with the plasmatic fields.
Pentru că adevăratul lucru este cu sufletul.
Because the real work is with the soul.
La intensitatea câmpurilor sufletelor.
The intensity of the souls.
Mulțumim. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice, Gianni. Thank you. Thank you so much. Amazing work going on there. He's combining many aspects of the plasma teaching, not just the physical parts. Even the dancing is part of it.
Yes, Rick.
Celebration.
Așa și facem, dansăm în dimensiunea plasmei.
We are dancing in the plasmatic dimension.
Și, într-adevăr, aceste ateliere nu se întâmplă ca cele tradiționale, ca cele obișnuite.
And of course, all these workshops, they are not like usual workshops that you found.
Pentru că nu suntem
teachers.
Suntem suflete libere.
We are free souls.
Și doar arătăm cum am ajuns aici.
And just we are showing how we managed to get here.
Cum am ajuns să ne reconectăm cu natura.
How we reconnect with the nature.
Să comunicăm cu plantele, cu animalele, cu toate sufletele.
To communicate with plants, with animals, with all the souls.
Și de aici și dorința de a împărtăși, de a dărui.
And this is where we have the power to for the sharing freely and giving.
Yeah. Încă o dată mulțumim. Thank you.
Thank you again.
Did everybody at the workshop know each other, or were there some that were strangers or new to you?
Yes, there were some people that know themselves, but there are also many new encounters. Beautiful souls.
So when a group like that goes through so many things, you've gone through the Ganses and Nano and the soul level teachings, and then participating in song and dance and storytelling and over several days, and all of that will tend to make a group bond together. So you'll have no doubt lots of lasting friendships come out of this as well. It's not just people will go their separate ways, but still be connected.
This is the way. Yes.
Well done. Well, thank you, Horatio, for your translation as well. That's essential so we can get an understanding here, and it's really helpful.
Thank you, thank you.
Este firesc ca Horatiu să facă traducerea pentru că participă și știe despre ce este vorba.
It's natural for Horatio to make the translation because he participates and he is there all the time.
Yeah, well, that's right. It's showing up is most of the work. If you're there all the time, then that means you're doing it basically. Right on. Okay, any questions for Gianni or Horatio? I'd just like to say it was nice seeing the coils being made again. I know you've shown that a few times, but it's always amazing to me. Your coils are so full and rich. They use a lot of wire and they're so effective. It seems like the best method to make GANs that I've seen are the most effective. You get lots of volume, it's good quality, and it's a beautiful way to do it.
And what I observe is the changing with the CH3, the changing color of the CH3, because in the beginning it's brownish, but it's starting to turn black.
Yeah. And did you use an iron wire for that? That was a coil, right? An iron wire coil?
Iron is
zinc iron.
Zinc iron.
Galvanized iron wire.
Mm-hmm.
Miercuri, Ric, arătăm și faptul că gansurile nu se dizolvă în benzină și motorină.
Wednesday we will show how gases does not dissolve in gasoline or diesel.
Am pus-o deja și am agitat-o, nu rămâne acolo.
I pour some CH3 in the gasoline and deuterium, sorry. And it's still there in the bottom. He does not mixed with the gasoline.
Revine la H3.
And he's turning back to CH3.
Și
H3, yeah.
Iar particulele se adună împreună.
And all the particles are together.
O să vedem în imagini.
We will see in the images.
Magnific.
One thing you could try, Gianni, is see what happens with the deuterium when it's mixed with alcohol first. And then if it can mix with alcohol, then you can put it in the diesel or gasoline and it'll tend to dissolve easier.
Nu mă interesează dezolvarea.
It's not my interest to dissolve.
Pentru că noi am pus în benzină încă de acum aproape 5 ani.
Because we pour inside the tank from almost 5 years ago.
Ele rămân pe fundul rezervorului.
We can find them at the bottom of the tank.
Mai sunt necesare doar 2 bile, 3 bile de fapt, sau eprubete deasupra.
So you can add 3 ping pong balls at the top inside the tank.
Creând o curgere între ceea ce este sus și ceea ce este jos.
To have a flow between what we have at the bottom of the tank and what we have at the top of the tank.
Și am văzut ce înseamnă acest lucru.
And we saw what this means, what can happen.
Un exemplu, mașina pe care o avem acum se numește Andorra.
For example, the car that we have now, the name is Andorra.
Am primit-o cu un consum de 9 litri la sută.
we have at the beginning we have 9% consumption, 9 liters per 100 km.
Și după 3 luni am ajuns la 4,5%.
And after 3 months, we managed to have 4 liters, 4.5 liters at 100 kilometers.
Nu am făcut-o pentru economie de carburant.
And we didn't do it for the economy of the gasoline.
Am făcut-o pentru un mediu echilibrat.
We made it for an environment that is in equilibrium.
Pentru că în interior am pulverizat cu CO2-ZNO.
Because inside the car we sprayed with CO2 and ZNO.
Am pus în rezervor gansurile.
We put gases inside the tank.
Și acum urmează să punem și în roți.
And now the next step is inside the wheels.
Mașina preparată în acest mod se comportă complet diferit față de ceea ce știm.
When you prepare this car in this way, the car have a different
movement.
Feelings.
Încă lucrăm la aceste aspecte.
We are still working to these testings.
Este a treia mașină pe care o preparăm.
This is the third car that we are preparing.
Și încă învățăm să lucrăm cu această intensitate.
With this intensity of fields.
Și cum avem date confirmate din mai multe zone, ca de obicei le împărtășim cu toată lumea.
And in the moment that we have confirmed dates from many places, we will share them with you, of course.
Ceea ce aș mai avea de adăugat vis-a-vis de atelierele pe care le facem.
What I would like to add regarding to the workshop.
Cel mai important lucru este să ne armonizăm toți.
The most important thing is all of us to be harmonized together.
Pentru că ceea ce vedem în reactoare nu se datorează doar bobinelor.
Because we are seeing doesn't
pentru că
sorry, you broke up there, Horatio. I can't hear.
Okay. The production of the gas is not only because of the coils.
Deoarece
Hello?
We lost a couple of sentences there. It broke up.
Can you hear me now?
Yep. Yeah,
Okay.
we can hear you now.
Okay. Johnny has said that the production of the gases is not just because of the coils.
Vinerea facem povestea, introducerea.
The first day we are making the introduction.
Dar de fapt ne echilibrăm unii cu ceilalți.
But actually we are equilibrating ourselves with each other.
Acest lucru pentru a ne folosi atenția, intenția și emoția în ceea ce vrem să obținem.
Because we want to use the intention, emotion and attention in what we want to do.
Un alt aspect esențial este prepararea mediului în care facem reactoarele.
And another essential thing is preparing the environment where we want to start the reactors.
Noi am pulverizat și în interior și în exterior.
We sprayed inside the house and outside the house.
Cei care au participat au văzut că o casă care
the people saw that house that wasn't in there for a long time.
În câteva minute, prin pulverizare, am schimbat complet mediul.
Just by spraying, in a few minutes, we changed completely the entire environment inside.
Deci este esențial prepararea mediului.
So the preparing of the environment is very essential.
Pentru că noi de aici absorbim reactoare.
Because from the environment, the reactors absorb what we want to capture in the reactors.
Adică vorbim de intensitatea pe care am creat-o în mediul nostru.
we are talking about the intensity that we manage to build in our environment.
Cam asta ar fi și încă o dată thank you.
So, thank you.
Very nice, very nice. Okay, well, moving along here. I see that we had a question earlier from Dirk in the Q&A. Could it be possible that the governments want to stop rice and other food production because they know the app for feeding is coming?
I wish they were saying that in relation to reduction of food. We know that
it'd be nice if that's what they were doing it for, and if they knew that was happening, but I suspect it's because they have higher orders from world organizations to disrupt the food production so that the world organizations can take over. But I would be, maybe a bit jaded in that estimation.
And of course, they know about the feeding app that's being developed probably before we did. Mr. Keshe said the world leaders talk about him and the foundation among themselves on a weekly or daily basis. So they're quite familiar about what's happening within the structure of the Keshe Foundation.
Mm-hmm.
But this seems to be headed more, at least publicly, to the global condition of warming or temperature change, which is just a normal process as I see it. And of course, I want to thank Gianni and Horatio and your whole team. You've been an inspiration to all of us. So thank you for your continued work in this plasma science.
Yes, thank you, everybody. It's a very exciting experience, and it's marvelous.
Haideți să dansăm împreună în dimensiunea plasmei.
Let's all dance together.
Sorry, you missed the last sentence there. I think you said all of us together.
Janice has said, let's dance together in the dimension, plasmatic dimension.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
Yes, and as of late, Mr. Keshe has been confirming to us of how much the souls are working together in a much more deeper and profound way than most of us have ever realized. So it's all in the correct position, apparently, as the whole structure moves into the elevation of the entire creation.
This is the way.
Okay, well, do we have any other testimonials people can bring forward?
I just want to say thank you to Gianni. There was a great presentation, very useful. I learned a lot by watching it. I just did a workshop actually this weekend, and only one person turned up. I was teaching the cup of life, but I didn't advertise it very well. It was my usually I teach to friends and family, people I know. This was the first time I actually advertising in a meetup group, and but only one person turned up, and I found there a lot of work. Like definitely, you get a lot of satisfaction, but I can see definitely if I do more workshop, I need more help. So I wouldn't mind to definitely contact you, Gianni, for some help. But thank you.
Ok, Ștefania.
It was
Grazie.
great workshop, very inspiring. I
Mille
was even
grazie.
thinking, wow, if for the Italian group, it would be great maybe to do like a gathering where maybe someone lend a place and we meet up and doing a gathering to know each other and sharing skills. I thought it was very inspiring.
Yes. Ștefania, te rog să înțelegi un lucru.
Oh, I want you to understand a little thing,
Și m-aș bucura ca toată lumea să înțeleagă.
and I will be glad that everybody can understand this.
Aici nu vorbim de
Not talking here about Johnny.
ci vorbim de o întreagă echipă,
We are talking about a team,
suflete magnifice care lucrăm împreună.
a beautiful souls that we are working together.
Așa că mulțumesc comunității plasmatice universale RO.
And that's why I thank you for Universal Plasmatic Raw Community Raw.
Cu plăcere stăm la dispoziție și în grupul italian și în celelalte unde suntem invitați.
With pleasure, we at the disposal in every gathering, Italian group or any group, just by invitation.
În măsura posibilităților fac traduceri și în spaniolă, și în engleză, și în italiană, și în franceză.
So I can make the translation in Spanish, Italian, and French and English.
Și pentru moment încă echipa este deschisă
And for the moment, the team is open
pentru acele suflete care vor să preia și acest aspect.
for the souls that want to implicate in this way.
Și mulțumim, Ștefania, pentru tot ceea ce faci în grupul italian și în Consiliul Universal.
And thank you, Stefania, for all that you do in the Italian group and
Consiliul Universal.
in Universal Council.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, I don't do very much with the Italian group. They doing a lot themselves. They very active on the. But as you know, you are in the agriculture chat. So we have few people. They're doing some workshop now and then, and they're very well organized. Sandro and Paolo, they're very good on organizing workshop. I asked them to gather in some materials so we can present in testimonials. But definitely, yes, it would be great to do like a gathering where we can meet up. It's always a good idea in different part, like maybe one in Italy and then meet up in different part of Europe and then maybe even the world, who knows?
Un mod în care putem să lucrăm mai simplu
A way that we can work easy way
din videourile și prezentările pe care le facem,
from all the videos and the presentation that we are making.
se pot aduna întrebări
You can gather questions
vis-a-vis de procedee, dispozitive,
of the process and how you can make them.
și noi venim să răspundem cu cunoașterea pe care o avem acum.
And we are here to respond with our knowledge that we are having now.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, the rooster is crowing here. Does anybody, excuse me, does anybody have any further testimonials? Anything perhaps of the last flight system testing or some other testing you might have been doing at home? Okay, well, judging by the stunned silence, perhaps we're done for today. I would like to keep it down to 3 hours today, so that's perfect. Anything else to add, Mark, or are we okay? Well, then I vote we wrap it up for today. It's been a really good testimonials meeting. Lots of interesting and engaging testimonials. It's good to hear from Hassan and his experiences. And thank you very much, Hassan, for being so open and allowing your intimate life basically to be shared. And it's such a beautiful story that I'm really happy that you were able to open up like that and be able to do that. I think it'll affect a lot of people. I know it's affected me, and several others have commented as well. Well, we live in interesting times, as they say. And I think the knowledge of the plasma technology will help us get through the rougher sides of our life on this planet. It seems to be more or less a cure-all for whatever ails you. All right, let's end it for today. I'm going to go out with our musical version of the spaceship unit, as per usual. And let me announce first, we have the One Nation, One Planet, One Race for World Peace and Justice coming up tomorrow. That's Tuesday, May 9th. That starts at 4 p.m. Central European Summer Time. And people are welcome to attend that meeting with members of the Universal Council who will be presenting the workshop. And the Keshe Plasma Reactor Group will be on Wednesday, May 10th, and that starts at 7 a.m. Central European Time. And all are invited for that realm as well. Okay, thanks everyone for being here today. And let me get the date for the next testimonials meeting, which will be in June. It will be on Monday. It's always the second Monday of the month. That will be on Monday, June 12th. So you can mark your calendars if you do that kind of thing anymore. And we'll see you then in the next testimonials. Try to gather up whatever you can over that time period. Sure, there's at least some small testimonial that everyone could give that's involved with the plasma technology. So we hope to hear from you next time. Okay, right now we're going to hear from the music version of the Flight Enhancement Spaceship Unit. Bye, everyone.